Today we're going to be looking at this CAN bus on this particular truck. It's not operational, the OBD2 port. So I want to take a look, see what's going on and see if I can get that fixed. On this OBD2 port, you can kind of see the connectors have got some green corrosion on it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean those up, unbolt that connector, and see if I can get some better connections on that. Maybe that will fix my issue. Okay, so I unbolted this, and this is the wires that are on this connector here. They're definitely a little corroded. This doesn't look like it's the newer CAN bus. It's probably one of the J formats. So I'm not sure how my scanner will like to work with this one or not, but I'm still going to try to clean up these connectors. First thing I'm going to do is measure the voltage on the on that orange wire there to the black and the gray, and see if we got 12 volts. Okay, after spending quite a bit of time on debugging my OBD2 port, it came down to these terminal connectors on the end of the wire. Originally, those terminals were looking kind of greenish. I tried to take them apart or remove them from this particular type of connector in the vehicle. In order to do that, you have to pop out these little gray plastic sliders on the top and bottom, and then you have to come in here in the middle part, and there's like little plastic levers. I don't know, let me see if I can show you what that. Hang on for 1 second. There we go. So here you can see there's a black lever that's holding in that metal piece right there, and then here's an empty hole that doesn't have any metal in it, but that little black tab there, if you push that up in the air, then this little metal piece right here will shoot out the back. So anyway, that's what I did. What I did is I popped these wires out the back after I released that little metal or the plastic lever in the front here. So I pulled those wires out, which would have been these wires here. And this is kind of what, well, let's see here. This is kind of what they look like. And here, let me change that around a little bit. So we can get a better view. Okay, here we go. So that little bendy piece of metal in the middle, what I did is I got on the bottom side here, and I tried to push in the middle to push that little bendy thing so it'd be biting on the top a little bit more when you inserted something into it. So basically making the little spring there a little tighter. But as you can see on this terminal, it's quite corroded looking. So even when I thought this was in better shape, after I was bending some stuff, it turns out that I was just kind of wasting my time. And each of these terminal blocks are very similar. Corrosion. Let's see. There we go. So you can kind of see the greenness, the corrosion on there. So that's kind of what turned out to be my problem. What I did is I took this connector here, that was a brand new one, and I pulled out 4 wires out of this one, and then I inserted, then I cut these old terminals off and spliced in these new wires here with the new clean looking terminal blocks that were inside of this connector here, and I put those in the connector that was part of the truck originally. So that basically fixed the issue, but I was trying to fight those connectors quite a long time. I was thinking that they were still working fairly decently. They really weren't, but I was thinking after I bent those springs here on these pieces that would probably make them work well enough, and it turns out that it didn't. Also, here's a Bluetooth scanner that I plugged into the OBD2 port, and what was interesting on this scanner here, on the top, there's a red LED in here, and when I looked at the red LED, it looks so dim. And if I plugged it into a different vehicle, it was super bright. And so what it turns out is when I was measuring 12 volts on the 12 volt feed on this connector here, I think it's in the bottom left or bottom right. It's a red or orange wire. And then the grounds are 2 on the top here. But anyway, when I was measuring the voltage between the grounds and the 12 volt, it looked like the 12 volts was there. But when you put a load on it, like a Bluetooth scanner tool, it was enough to make the current and the voltage drop down to where the scanner wouldn't operate as normal. And so one indication was the red LED was ultra dim, and I should have used that as a clue and saved myself quite a long period of time before I got to cutting those terminal blocks, those connectors out of the old truck connector. So anyway, that's some of the things that I learned on this process. But at the end of the day, once you cleaned up those connectors, put new ones in there, and we're only talking about 4 wires that need to be touched up. Now the scanner is working perfectly, and this little $20 scanner is working very nicely on my 2001 GMC vehicle, which is using a protocol which is J1850, and with the GMC, I think it's the pulse width variable, or variable pulse width is the protocol that they use, and the newer CAN protocols are after 2008, I believe, are using a different protocol and different wires. So this little scanner here for $20 was able to go back and work with those really old vehicles, which was nice to have. My newer scanner that's like $1,000 scanner, I don't think that was able to work on those older vehicles. So I was pretty happy to have this second scanner laying around. Anyway, hopefully you find this information valuable if you're working on older vehicles on the OBD2 connector. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.